Okay, it is 5 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and call to order the work session of the East Grand Forks City Council for Tuesday, October 28th, 2025. Everyone, please turn on your microphones. And would the city clerk please call roll?
Mayor Markleset?
Here.
Council President Brian Larson?
Here.
Council Vice President Tim Rainfeld?
Here.
Councilmember Sammy Schumacher?
Here.
Ben Hucklevinsky? Dale Helms?
Here.
Donald Casey?
Here.
Karen Peterson?
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Let's move into item number 1 then. 2025 Grow Minnesota Visit Recap. Maggie Brockling and Barry Wilfahrt.
Good evening, Council. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity to update on what we found in the 2025 survey through Grow Minnesota. Okay, we're going to get there. Here we go. So we visited with about 12 businesses, and this is a program that the State Chamber runs, and we were one of the 42 counties that participated in it. So our community was able to report back some of the data that we found through our individual surveying and our visits to the different businesses. So as you can tell, we are kind of on par with the state in terms of the biggest issue being that the increased business costs are the number one complaint along with supply costs. And one of the sentiments that businesses shared was we're really frustrated that the cost of business is going up, and then we hate the fact we have to pass the cost on to our customers. So it's not a matter of gouging, and they really conveyed that multiple times. It's just their costs to run the business are increasing, so in order for them to stay viable, they have to pass the costs on. But some of these costs are coming from wages and labor, the different state mandates, most notably that earned sick time. Insurance rates are increasing, it seems, and just supplies. But the good news is 100% of the businesses that we spoke with are planning to continue their business as usual, so there's no planned closures, and a third of them, roughly, are looking to expand or add staff, which is really exciting. So here we have a comparison between last year and the projected growth, the business growth. So last year it was about 42%, and then this year is about 59%. So that was largely due, it seemed, to market uncertainty for a lot of businesses. They just weren't sure of how tariffs or different fees and fines and things were going to add up, so they were a little hesitant to take on any large projects. However, the significant growth consistently was the same between last year and this year, being about 8%. The moderate decline was due to certain roles being changed and staff numbers being slightly decreased due to technology being added in. So there may be the opportunity for the roles to come back or be reassigned in different ways to assist maybe with the machinery or the technology that's being used. So then how has it changed in the past year? So the highest one seemed to be that 59% of significantly higher costs. And again, it was just the same kind of issues with the supply chain issues and the kind of the fringe benefits and wages for staff. Let's see. The good news is largely the businesses that don't require a skilled trade or candidate skill set are not finding any problems with finding staff. Some say they have a wait list. Some people say that they have people as young as 14 years old looking to get into the jobs. So that's awesome that we have people excited about work. However, the issue that came up with some of the more technical jobs was the concern of if we have this one person that's very skilled in this one type of ability, if they go out due to earned sick time, what do we do? How do we replace it? How do we continue operations as normal? Because this person is so integral to the role.
This is probably the biggest change from previous years. The last 10 years, this would have been 100% yes. Every other year for the last decade, it's been very, very difficult to find employees. A lot of employers are not hiring right now because of the uncertainty, a lot of those factors that were on the chart. So seeing 67% saying that workforce is not a huge issue, it's not the biggest issue right now. It's more that uncertainty because of those factors that Maggie put up there. So this is good if you're an employer. This is not as good if you're looking for a job. So if you have a job, keep your job.
Yes. So for future hiring plans, the state level was at 57, showing stability, and we were at 50% showing stable. So kind of on par with the state level in terms of the stable indicator. And then for increasing it, we were significantly lower than the state, but that's not entirely bad. Sometimes the reason why people are not necessarily looking to hire is because they're determining how they want to do restructures. We're seeing a lot of like national news with companies that are laying off a lot of people, so they're finding out how they can find efficiencies, and maybe technology is filling those gaps. Okay. And then the next one, so interesting feedback on this earned safe and sick time mandate that's coming up. Some employers felt like they were concerned about the potential risk for abuse, and then obviously the cost is a burden to businesses. I did not expect to see some positive responses to it. Some companies felt that it was a really great incentive to offer to their employees that other states may not have, and that the cost was not really that impactful to their bottom line. So learning some new insight on that. And then this is the last part. So in closing, just a couple key takeaways I had were it's really important to support your local businesses, because when you're buying locally, you're supporting that local wealth building. You're supporting your neighbors and your friends and your neighbors to help them keep the community actually more resilient against external events, as opposed to having, a corporate chain maybe that employs people locally and then they decide to shutter, and then we're left with people without jobs. So it's really important to support all the businesses we have locally. And then on the last page of the staff report, there was a little bit of feedback in terms of the sales tax and just some negative comments. But in efforts to get ahead of this, with the business visits, I included a sheet that talked about like the sales tax and how it breaks down and the purpose of it. And we've included permits in each of the packets for them, as well as contact information for the different city departments if they have questions. So we want to be informational and transparent.
I think the only thing I would add is I'd congratulate the city council and the city administrator, mayor, on getting the Simplot trade done. I think that piece of property, it's a prime piece of developable real estate in this community. I think that gives Maggie something really major, tangible to work on the next couple of years. I'm really excited about that. Going around the community, I hear nothing but positives about that. So congratulations on all that hard work. I know it's been like a 10-year process, and that's a really big deal for this community. And hopefully it'll build the tax base, help keep taxes where they're at so they don't continue to go up.
Any questions?
Okay. Any questions for Maggie or Barry? Oh, I see none. Okay. Thank you for the report.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 2 then. Consider lease agreement extension for the probation office. Ms. Ellis.
Probation's is up for their 2-year renewal of their rent. Met with gentleman in charge of probations, requested a modest increase. I think we're still in line with the majority of their office-type rentals. It's a unique situation here because we try to rent to government agencies simply because it's a government building with the times and things like that. We've had no complaints. Probations has been easy to deal with, and I don't really have anything else other than kind of in line with, a 10% increase is kind of about what we're seeing for most rents going up. So 10% over the 2 years kind of brings them a little bit closer to the MPO. So anybody have any questions?
Any questions for Nancy? Okay.
Great,
Thank
thanks.
you. All right, let's move on to item number 3. Consider 2026 Greenway Trail improvements. Mr. King.
All right. Thank you, Council President, City Council, and Mayor. In a continued effort to keep up with the Greenway Trail maintenance, we've been working with Seth and planned a project in 2026 to do an overlay of 1.5 miles of Greenway Trail. Most of this area would be in the downtown and Lefebvre Park area. The project would be funded through the Greenway Maintenance Fund. This is a fund that is on the monthly utility bill, currently at a fee of $2.32. That increases annually by 5% through the year 2032. We'd like to get, if approved, we'd like to get the project out to bid in 2025 with construction starting in 2026. In the Greenway Maintenance Fund currently, we have about $280,000, and it generates roughly $9,500 a month. So by the time, after the bids come back and the project were to be awarded, we would have enough money to cover the project costs. Recommendation would be to authorize WIDSET to prepare plans and specs to move forward with the improvements on the Greenway Trail.
Great, thank you, Mr. King. Any questions for Jeremy? Go ahead, Mr. Helms.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're not doing anything new here, right? We're just overlaying?
Correct.
So my question would be, means we're not adding anything new, we're just overlaying what we have already. Looking at the costs, and I'm looking at specifications and staking inspection, and that's just about $36,000 just to tell us that we're going to put more asphalt on top of asphalt. I just wonder why that's so high, why it'd be so much, because there really isn't going to be a lot of, it's not like they got to do a lot of surveying and everything else out there for all this.
Yeah, we do actually go out. We do go out, survey all the existing trails, so we're able to get a good, accurate measurement as far as the square yardage of bike trails. We also go out and look at if there's any areas where we have large cracks, maybe deterioration. We kind of mark those out, get those identified, so we can, do those repairs on the plan. So those are, and the other thing we do, and I did put it in there for budget purposes right now, I will be putting together, it's called a request for professional services contract that'll go to Reed, that we can adjust that number at that time. Again, I just put in the 8% for budget purposes to kind of, let Jeremy know where we're at, but that is something we can further look at too.
So that might not be the final cost then.
Right.
So when you did this inspection, did you find any of these problems that you were just talking about?
We haven't done that yet. So that's something we would do. Yep. So that's something I could, even before next week's meeting, I could put together that request for professional services and kind of confirm those numbers, if that helps.
I mean, I wouldn't have such a problem with it if we were building new, but we're,
Yep.
that's kind of
Yep.
what bothers me a little bit.
Totally understand. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Helms. Any other questions or comments? I'm just curious, Jeremy, why this area? Is it just, it's the worst condition of the
Yeah,
area?
we drove the whole system and we kind of identified this as the worst part of it, and then also this will tie in nicely. It'll get everything kind of updated, really put the bow on the Lefebvre Park project. The plan moving forward is once this is completed, we'll try to go about 3 years before our next project, and we'll continue to work our way north up the Greenway, getting all the way to the North Pedestrian Bridge and then starting back over on the bottom.
Great. Yeah, happy to see us continuing on this plan, keeping up with maintenance on the greenways. Important, I think. Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead, Dale.
I have one more, thank you. It's a different subject, but as long as you're here and we're talking. Did you give us a report on how the first hunt went? Have we heard anything?
I have not, no.
How did we do there?
So if you remember back in October, we had the accessibility hunt. We offered out 4 tags. That ran through options. We received 4 applicants, but at the last minute, 2 of them dropped out, so we had 2 applicants left. Of the 2 applicants, they hunted, or they hunted in zone number 2, which is kind of behind the public works and the water treatment plant. One of them was successful with an antlerless deer, and the other one had seen deer but was being a little bit choosy and didn't harvest one. So we harvested 1 deer out of that accessibility hunt.
Okay, just curious.
So I would say it was a success. The first deer was harvested on the first day within probably the first hour.
Wow.
And then, like I said, once the gentleman realized he was going to have a either-or tag, he decided to become a little bit choosy on what he wanted to harvest. So
Now, are they done with theirs now?
the accessibility is done, and then and now mid-November here, we'll get ready for the regular season.
Thanks.
Great. While you're captive, any other questions for Mayor? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to add a fourth item here, and Mayor Olsted, if you'll start us
Sure,
off.
appreciate
please.
it. Since this is Megan's last meeting with us, I just wanted to save my comments from last week to this week, so I'm just going to read something. So tonight we express our heartfelt appreciation to Megan Nelson for more than 13 years of dedicated service to the city of East Grand Forks. Throughout the years, Megan has made a lasting impact through her professionalism, customer service, and commitment to the city. She came to the city in April of 2012 as an administrative assistant and was promoted to city clerk in January of 2016. I served on the city council from 2013 to 24 and was introduced to Megan on day one. For 10 of those years as president, I think we talked almost every day. She's a wealth of knowledge and is one of the most genuine persons I know. She always is willing to help you putting together any information or gather it for you. As I transitioned into the mayor, she continued to work with me side by side, and I always will be grateful for her time. Her selfless ability to help others, putting the residents first in all facets of her work, and always willing to help answer questions or complete research for city staff, she truly has made a lasting impact on our city. Megan, as you move on to new opportunities, we extend our sincere gratitude for many ways you have helped our organization grow and thrive. Thank you for your loyalty, leadership, and countless contribution over the past 13 years. We wish you all the best in your next chapter.
Great.
Thank you.
And we do have a plaque to present today.
Thank you.
We better get a picture, right?
Who's taking the picture?
Yeah.
He's usually taking the picture outside.
I know, I'm sorry.
We'll get a picture. Okay.
It's been a pleasure.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Mayor. That brings us to the end of our agenda. We'd be looking for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Riepel,
Second.
second by Peterson. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed same sign.
Second for the back.
Motion passes, meeting is closed. Thank you, everyone.